What are we calling you, Uncle Tim?
You can call me whatever you want. You know, it's.
I was going to say it's a brand character that spawned like since you've last been in here, slowly becoming the.
Yeah, Uncle Tim thing's really taken over here. It's. I didn't think it was going to take over, but I mean, even in my city, they're calling me Uncle Tim, and as far as the commission stuff and things I do down there, so
hilarious.
It was always a joke working on cruise ships. There was a guy out there. He was. Uncle Clayton, I can't remember where he was from. He ran the housekeeping department and the refits and the new builds. And everybody called him Uncle Clayton. He was from the islands, and I wish I'd remember what island it was from. But you know, the man was just a hard worker bee. And one day he called me Uncle Tim, and then on the ships I was just Uncle Tim. Like it was a thing. Uncle Tim was a thing, and then kind of brought it back here, and then. Jason Burge always tells me, dude, it's creepy. You're going to end up not being allowed to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
That's okay.
You know,
I'm fine with that.
You know, but it just stuck this year. Yeah, and it's a thing, and it's interesting to walk through like Walmart or something. You hear somebody yell.
It's very universal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, you can take it to all kinds of different productions that you do.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, I just won't take it to Toddlers and Tiaras. That's probably the one that wouldn't get me in trouble.
Yeah, you're gonna have to answer questions.
I think right before you got here, you're getting ready for a kid show, right?
Yeah. So down in the city of Moundsville, I'm on the Arts and Culture Commission, and we do this thing called Create with Mac, you know, Create with the Moundsville Arts and Culture Commission. So we call Create with Mac. And we normally just do like a one-day thing. Like I'll have, like, if you remember Ian from the Waterfront Hall.
I saw him yesterday.
Master Mix.
Saw him yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. 2 blocks back.
That's right. I forgot he's down
Shout
there.
out Ian.
You know, so like I had him do a master mixology class for people one time.
That's cool.
And like we this year we did something with Kroger's where we taught people how to do floral arrangements. You know, so it's like we do these Create with Mac things, but they're just like a one-day event. They're cool. I did teen tie-dye with Jonna Marple from Sweet Dyes Hippie Supplies, and did a teen tie-dye with the kids. She's got me back into tie-dye. I'm tie-dyeing all the time now. It's a therapy thing. But, you know, in the beginning of our year going in, they said, let's try to see if we can create some series and try to create something that lasts more than one class. Well, the only thing that stuck to the wall this year was I wanted to teach kids how to play guitar. I wanted to do a teen guitar class. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I've got Keenan Seditz. Keenan is the he's I can't remember what he teaches out at Cameron High School. I met him this year when I was doing an install out there. He's also their baseball coach, and he's also actually going to be Eric in the Little Mermaid production coming up next week.
Oh, really?
Strand.
Really?
Sweet.
And I knew he taught the guitar class out at Cameron, so I hatched this idea on him, and I kind of gave him my little, you know, scope of work, and then he made it so much bigger. And yeah, we've been committed since the beginning of June. Every Saturday we've been there, other than 4th of July, obviously. And then when Jefferson Friday rolls around for us on the second Friday of August, the kids are going to get up and perform at halftime.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm trying to spread the music.
Yeah, School of Rock, the School of Rock going on.
That's it.
That's awesome.
It's in its infancy, but I want to see it grow, and I want to see more communities do it. And I think it's a great way to introduce kids to the arts.
I was gonna say there's not really a lot of music intro for kids like at that age. I mean, especially like inner school, because I remember like you have your music teacher that came in on like your designated day Monday. They're teaching you something on recorder, or they're teaching you how to do the ta-ta, ti-ti-ta on rhythm sticks, but there's not really anybody bringing a guitar in somewhere that they can kind of get their toes wet. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I was fortunate. I went to Catholic school, so I had music all the time.
Right.
I transferred to John Marshall in my junior year, so we had music every day.
That's nice.
But you know, I just see the value of giving children these tools for music. I mean, because if we just let it go all electronic and digital, and I have no problem with electronic digital, I love that music, but we've got to keep the old instruments alive. And if I can have a part in helping these kids, man, I'm going to be there.
Yeah,
love it.
The electronic and digital sampled from somewhere.
Yeah, it came from somewhere. You know, it was like today I was in the car listening to the oldie station on Saturday, and it was like a 100.1 was what I was listening to. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, or you got to edit this out. But I was so I like their oldies and on Saturdays in the morning. Mom and Dad always listened to the oldies, and it was Saturday, and that's how we cleaned the house, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm in the car and I hear this song. I think it was Oliver. I can't remember what song it was, and then all of a sudden I hear this acoustic riff, and it's like, I'm like, wait a second, is that the opening to When the Sun Goes Down? So I have yeah. So I have to go back yet. I just caught it. I Shazammed it. I didn't know the song. I knew who the artist was.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole because I love rabbit holes.
That's cool.
You know. But again, that'd be awesome. But you just said that what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, it was sampled from somewhere. Is that really where that came from? And my God, that was from the '60s. You know?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Like it's crazy growing up. You listen to all the singles on radio, and then you get an age where you start like doing the music research. You find out like, is everything a cover song?
Yeah.
And you go like Black Crows and like dun 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 dun. What's that song?
Hard to Handle.
Yeah, that's a cover. That's Sitting at the Dock of the Bay.
Otis Redding.
Yeah, that's an Otis Redding song. Like, that's a cover too. Like,
Yeah.
we must have had the same strain before we come in here because I was in the car.
It was Lamonian,
driving up,
whatever.
listening to blues, and I'm listening to it was like I listened to some blues and whatever, and Devil with a Blue Dress came on,
okay, yeah.
and I was like, wait a second, this sounds like the start of The Greatest Story Ever Told by the Grateful Dead. And so in my head, I'm now singing The Greatest Story.
Yeah.
And then so I rocked out to hippie music the rest of the way here.
It's crazy how like music up until a certain like age, they just didn't even recognize it as a cover.
Yeah,
they
it
wouldn't
just-
even put credits or anything.
No.
Maybe like in the fine print, but nowadays it's like you have to come out with this cover.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this thing because I was thinking about this the other day because my dad and I, whenever we get a good cover from normally it's like a modern like heavy metal or hard rock band, I'll send it to him. But what's your guys' favorite cover song? Not a live cover, but like a band coming in and recording it in a studio.
Wow.
Man, I know my favorite live,
What's that?
and that
I haven't
is,
got to ask you that before.
Brothers of a Feather. There was a beautiful singer songwriter from over in the UK, John Martin,
Okay.
and Over the Hill. I don't know if you ever heard that song.
I don't think so.
You got to check it out. Brothers of
Okay.
Feathers, what turned me on to it. Chris and Rich Robinson.
Okay.
But then it turned me on to John Martin. Then I realized how, my God, once you get
Yeah.
into John Martin catalog,
Uh-huh.
but it's Martin with a Y.
Okay.
Go down that rabbit hole, and his version of Johnny Too Bad, which was Peter Tosh song, and he's playing the bass on it, and there's a live version in like some Euro club. Change your mind, but put a whole new artist in on it.
Yeah.
So that, now I'm gonna think about recorded, and hopefully that gave Scott enough time to think of his favorite recorded cover.
That's
Tell you
That's
what,
a great question.
a great
It's
question.
a
It's like-
fantastic question.
Weezer had a great. It's the Teal album. Weezer had a great cover album. Metallica had that Garage Inc.
yeah.
Man, I couldn't tell you like. Not like somebody like remade it and didn't give it like credits, but an actual like from a cover album or recorded single.
Yeah.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Groundbreakers Pool and Spa. Groundbreakers Pool and Spa is servicing the Ohio Valley with everything they need from start to finish in installing above and in-ground pools. Doesn't just stop at the installing. They will do maintenance, liner installation, retaining walls, decking for the pool. They'll do maintenance and seasonal opening and closing. Like everything you need if you have an area in your backyard that you want to turn into a summer oasis, Groundbreakers have you covered. Give them a call at 1-304-639-8161. That's 1-304-639-8161, and check them out on Facebook. It's Groundbreakers. You can see clips of all their projects around the Ohio Valley. That's Groundbreakers Pool and Spa.
I was gonna say like that's all. Five Finger Death Punch is all you hear. Those covers were all you hear on like 107.5, like
Yeah.
Bad Company and
I guess I would say me being a deadhead, thinking about it, Buffett, Scarlet Begonias. I can't remember what album that was on. He recorded Scarlet Begonias, and it was killer. And I used to love going to a Buffett show because
Was it American Beauty.
I can't remember which album it was.
And they did Good Lovin' too. That cover on Terrapin
Station.
Shakedown Street.
Shakedown. Yeah.
It was the second song on Shakedown Street, and that same thing. I like that one, but man, my favorite I'm trying to think.
If you say wagon wheel, I'm walking out.
No, that was And even that, how many people covered that? I mean,
Well, you know how that whole song started, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's from the cutting room floor from the Pat Garrett and Billy and the Kid movie.
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dylan messed
know
around with it in the studio. They just kind of ran some C-roll tape.
And it was only like
And
half a verse or
Yeah, and
something
he left
like
it
that.
alone, and
Yeah.
then Old Crow Medicine Show finished it up, and then
I like it better than the cover of that better than Darius. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the other thing, Darius was shoved down everybody's throat. It was like every third song for the longest time.
They did. Darius is a beautiful man. I know him from hockey, South Carolina Stingrays, whatever. Wheeling Nailers met him down there at a game.
That's cool.
And he actually, there were some people who worked on cruise ships. There was a cruise director that went to school with him. Wonderful man. But you're right. They did push his stuff too much, too quick. It was great. His stuff's fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I like
did
him.
anyone ever realize in between the Hootie project and to the country projects, there was a project in the middle? And he was doing some hip hop, and Snoop Dogg was on one of the tracks.
I did not
I did not know that.
Oh, you got to get down that. That album's fantastic. There's some like really
Really?
good soul sounding songs on there that'll get you in your feels, almost put tears in your eyes. Like
Did
that
not
little
know
project in between, he could have gone a different way.
Huh.
Yeah, the song with Snoop's called "Somebody's Been Sleeping in My Bed" or something. It's really good,
Yeah.
but like he could have gone that way too.
So
like
did he go from Hootie to Snooty? And it was Snooty
no,
to
well,
Snoop?
I wouldn't say it was Hootie to Snooty. I would say it would be
Snooty and Stoop.
I would say he went
Greatest
from
hits.
Hootie to like Hootie, like
Yeah.
like this new all gas no brake stuff that's out there at the dispensaries. Like it was
Right.
It was interesting. It was a good project though.
I did not know that.
You gotta check it out.
Speaking of rap projects, while we think about covers, we were talking about right before we started filming the council.
Huh.
Another deal from a place that never gets music deals, right?
Great. Kudos to those guys. Congratulations.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I mean, local homegrown boys talent. I had them at the Flood Festival last year, Rise Up, and a lot of people are like, "Man, you got them in a weird slot, and why are they even part of this?" And I remember telling some people, I was like, "You just wait till you see the council. You wait till you hear them." I was like, "I know how good they are. I've worked with them,
Yeah.
done a fair few shows with them, had a lot of fun with them. Love those guys." And man, when they played at River City, I told them, I said, "There's kids, guys." Like, and then finally, halfway into the first song, I pulled Maddie aside and I was like, "Go for it." And they just went. And at the end of it, the who I didn't expect to be the first person to come up to me and congratulate me on booking them and had never heard them and had become an instant fan was Angie from The Hole.
Oh, okay.
She's like, "Oh my God, Tim." She's like, "They were fantastic." And I was like, "You didn't know about them?" She's like, "No." She's like, "They got a fan now."
Yeah. They're very entertaining.
Yeah,
they put on a good show.
It's sad to see some of the haters out there trying to tell people that they faked that contract with Rock Nation and they faked their Rolling Stone interview. I walked in there the other day to go see Bobby Parrish, and I was like, "On the cover of the Rolling Stone."
The thing is,
I was proud of him,
The thing is, too, it's like a lot of people don't understand what signing means. They just think signing, it's like, oh, I've heard about this. I've seen this in movies. They're doing that. I mean, there's distribution deals,
Right.
There's marketing deals, there's managerial deals, there's all kinds of it. Signing a distribution deal is amazing.
Yeah.
Because like
Huge.
a lot of those like potential like red flags or potential like problems you might have, like say if somebody just signs you over and manages all of like your assets and stuff, later down the road, that's where you hear like horror stories. But if you're signing a distribution deal where they're just somebody recognizes your art and is pushing that out to more people, their platform,
and it's Rock Nation. That's a biggie.
Just
That's
as long as the council knows that you started on 10 String Tavern, we just don't forget us.
correct. You're right. And that the first show ever was that time at River City. Yes, correct. No.
Well, it is crazy.
Joking, guys.
It is crazy that the tavern did start when a lot of projects were starting. Because the council formed after that like rocky bunch of splits that were happening when we filmed.
Yeah, I forgot about all that.
And then
that was
like
weird.
the hall started. It's like you were doing the sound installs as soon as like they were opening up, and then we got to see the growth of all these different people that started.
Yeah,
That's a wonderful perspective because I haven't taken that perspective until you just said that, and you kind of put the timeline of my life since I've been home and COVID and the timeline. Yeah, we're onto something. I think the Valley's onto something.
There's no coincidences in the universe, but like Jake had said, it's funny because we kind of started our project just as everybody else kind of started theirs, and not in any way, shape, or form interconnected, but then slowly became interconnected.
I almost feel like
It's
I
fantastic.
almost feel like COVID ended. People went back to the way they think things were going to like go the same exact way beforehand.
Yeah.
They were doing their same projects. There were some bands that did the same exact set list from beginning to end. But then I think like that fizzled out a little bit, and people are like, okay, now that there was this great reset, let's just do what our dreams are, like what ideas we have.
And I think that time in COVID, a lot of people got more creative. They pushed their boundaries a little bit. They pushed themselves a little bit. Some people got lazy, and we can see who the lazy ones are because
like you said, they do the same set list all the time.
That's one of the big reasons. It was a blessing in disguise when I said, like you said, everything's connected. When I decided I wasn't going to run live sound this summer,
How was that decision?
It just was based on, I had some other obligations for 13 Saturdays in a row, and I didn't want to be tired going into those obligations, and I didn't want to feel like I left anybody slighted. I also, I've had some things that have happened. I got accused of stealing money from the rides up Floodfest. I got accused of taking money from the Bob Weir show we did out at the Silver Ale. So I just kind of said, maybe it's time to step away. And I'm glad I did, because my wife ended up, she's had her accident and everything else. And it's allowed me to focus into more things, and it's opened up more doors for me.
That's good.
I don't miss the sound running it, but I'm still running sound here and there in a way. you know. In a way, I'm somewhere. I'm able to teach people, show people, and still installing it. So it's just got tired of running it.
The drama of Showtime. I could see where this valley, when you see like so many of the same bands over and over, that it can get daunting when there's like red flags that just keep popping up every time in the same show, or like, I'm trying to say like dealing with, I don't want to say like other producers in the area, but I could just see where
that was none of it. That was not what bothered me. What bothered me was knowing that I was going out as a very talented individual. I'd like to believe I am, and having a decent sound system. And
absolutely. I said that since we met at that steak fry, when you're like, "How is he doing the steak fry? That's nice." Like normally I'm swimming in mids and have a migraine by this time,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just years of experience. But what really got me was like being with a group of talented individuals, and there being 12 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And knowing that I've drugged thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear out just to try, it wasn't worth the $300. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, we can only give you 200, or, these steak fries think they think that $10,000 worth of gear, you should just show up and it's a hobby and you're going to do it for free.
I know.
And I just got burnt out. I just said, I don't want to do sound if I'm not, especially whenever you go in and you give a place a reduced rate and they want to complain over things that are mundane.
Yeah.
And really they have no clue.
Right.
And maybe the complaint was because they were stupid enough to put their table next to the speaker for the steak fry or something.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I love that. Even doing like, just if it was just me doing simple karaoke or whatever, for whatever reason, you always get the people that will sit right next to a 15-inch speaker
right
over their head and then complain that it's too loud. Or it's just move, because it's loud where you're at, but
right
all the way in the back. It's comfortable.
Unless you do a distributed audio system. A lot of people laugh at me at some of my installs around the valley, like, oh, there's a lot of speakers everywhere. Hey, you know what the best part about it is?
Yeah.
They're everywhere, and it's the same volume everywhere. And you can have a conversation at your table instead of in the front, you're shoving napkins in your ears, and in the back, you're going,
yeah,
right. But I mean, like for like small
I get,
something, they don't.
But I get that.
Or if you do get a sound guy to come in and do all that, then that place that you're playing now for the band, it's $400 for us to play, plus our sound guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, relatively cheap. There's $200.
Right.
There's $600. You're like, oh, we can't pay that much.
Yep. And then you still go ahead and take the gig, and the sound guy takes a smaller cut just because he wants to be part of the action. And then that same speaker we're talking about, somebody decides they're going to touch. And I'm patient. I think I'm a good, decent human being, but like, you touch my equipment.
Yeah.
I know what I can do, and I don't want people to see that side of me either.
That's where
I've said some things I shouldn't say to people, and I worry about if I'd ever cross the line and get physical.
Well, that happened to me one time. I was DJing, just doing karaoke, small little bar. I knew the guy that owned it. Kind of gave him a deal, and and bar fight. One of my speaker stands gets over, speaker gets busted, and all this stuff happened. Now, thankfully, I give him credit, but he's dead. He paid for everything. He goes like, "I'm sorry." He said, "Whatever it is," and he's like, "You tell me exactly what you need. You order it." He said, "You get it all on the list. You show me the list, and I'll give you the money." And he did. Immediately.
You got blessed there.
Yeah.
Because most places would just be like, "Well, I hope you have insurance."
Yeah, because
and they knew full well that they hired you.
Somebody that said, "Hey, friend of a friend, hey, can you play this place?" I'd have never got that. But
right,
like you said, I was lucky that I knew the guy.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Absolutely, this shouldn't have." And the other thing, he was part of the bar fight, so that's probably why he was like, "Yeah, my bad, man." So,
oh boy.
But yeah, like people just don't understand. Nobody really understands. One, equipment costs.
No,
nobody understands it.
No.
And two, nobody that's kind of like we're coming back full circle. Nobody appreciates the musicians, the hours, and all the time that you put in learning songs, learning how from even when you're a kid, learning how to play. All the time and effort that you put in just isn't. Hey, would you mind playing a 3-hour show for $50? It's not even worth hauling an amp and a cord.
Exactly, and you're right. You reminded me of something funny. I know I like to mess around and watch videos on the internet a lot. You ever see that guy? You're talking about like the musicians not being appreciated. So it was like an Easter Sunday or something. There's a video. You've seen that guy, Dovey Das? That's like the guy that shreds on guitar and
so.
He'll go set up wherever and have people come up and sing with him.
Yeah.
Well,
in like different public squares.
Yeah. Well, so they book him to play somewhere on like an Easter Sunday somewhere, and they're doing sound check, and the manager keeps coming up and whatever, turn it down. You're just background music, whatever. To the point where like they were just barely coming out of their own personal monitor on stage, and she was still upset about it. And I'm like, and now this guy's 5 years later, this guy's big.
Yeah, he is.
She had no clue, and there she is, pound cake patties out there, if you will. They had some nickname for her. She had to be the star of the show.
He's got like,
and she's probably still managing that restaurant.
Yeah, he's got the looper drum pad, and he'll do like kind of like crazy requests. He'll be like, "Can you do Dire Straits, but in like electronic beat?" And he'll like try to like figure it out. Yeah, I've seen that. I think I've seen the exact one before he even gets set up.
Right, but that video that's just a reminder of like what you're saying. Like they don't appreciate the musicians either. It's.
I could see where it's annoying too. It's like you finally pack up your stuff. You deal with whatever the day brings, you get home, and then somebody online is now publicly shaming you for something, which is your brand and your business and stuff.
Toxic.
And I could see where it would get disheartening too, being on the cruise ships, being around the most high-tech, most state-of-the-art systems every single time, coming back, installing the most state-of-the-art systems, and then there's nothing stopping a guy like me who has maybe 5% of rudimentary knowledge of sound that you do. There's nothing stopping me to go and getting a 50 grand PV system, selling myself for $100 a night.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine how disheartening that is.
Yeah, it is. And there's guys out there doing it, and that's whatever.
Blowing people's ears out.
Of course.
That's what they're doing, yeah.
It's running sound is not it's not something that you buy a kit for from Fisher Price.
Yeah.
And being a musician is not something that you go get the kit for from Fisher Price either. I mean, they might have made the plastic guitar, they might have made the little xylophone thingy, but it comes with years of talent and practice and study, and so.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about sound. I really do. I know, like he said, he has 5%. I think I got 0.5%.
Right.
And most of that is wrapping cables really good.
As long as you don't you beat me to it. That happened to me recently. I had 100 and some odd custom cable I'd made somewhere, and somebody tore it out for me ahead of time, and I was like, "Did they do this over there?" They're like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "You can have that cable. I'm not interested in having that back."
But like I said, I know like where to put the inputs, kind of a little bit of
right.
But even my own board, like I still have trouble trying to figure out how to hook up monitors.
Right.
I can't figure it out. And it just, but
I love helping people when I can with it, if I'm there and whatever, I've helped a couple bands locally. We've booked out at CA House and booked that back room, and I'll set you up.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of be like, this is your cookie cutter. Okay. This is also your safety net. This is when you sounded the best I could with you at whatever point. You want to fix it, whatever. Just don't get in there and start drawing pictures. But if it ever goes to hell, come back to this setting and push "Save Me, Daddy" or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? And it's there. Uncle Tim. And I love doing that. So anybody ever wants to do something like that, and even if it's analog, I mean, it's real simple to make a simple map. I had them on the ships all the time. You just make a map of the board and you draw it out. Everybody knows how to read time on an analog clock, I would hope. Do they still teach that in school? I
don't know. They're not,
because they don't teach cursive, so they probably don't teach them what the numbers on a clock mean.
There's some schools in states that now they're like, well, we're not really concerned about math and English, so don't. It's just we're gonna take that off.
Well, they don't want you to know about math because they don't want you to know how to count your own money. So that go to digital currency. It doesn't matter. Sorry, that's just me. Let me put my tinfoil hat back on.
I was going to say, the only lesson of business I learned in high school all my years was I could balance a checkbook.
That's it.
That's it.
I think you should be able to do that, and you should like the rudimentary, just how to do your taxes.
Yeah,
I mean
you're right there.
Yeah,
because at tax time's not the time that you need to be YouTubing and asking how do I fill this out. And God help anybody that's on 1099 or they're self-employed or.
We need
to make sure you save enough taxes, and
we need to have a seminar or something with adult, especially entertainers of the Ohio Valley with taxes.
Yeah. That's a good idea. It's
there's so much wasted money that doesn't need to be fought over. Yeah. Every single Ohio Valley musician I see, they're not doing it. There's so many avenues that they could just be making money passively, and they're just not.
Yeah.
They're just not. Like, you can be selling things through Amazon, and you don't have to be an influencer selling a product. You could, I hooked up with Ezra. We got him hooked up with the OBS studio program. He's doing his mic, guitar directed into a looper, directed into, I think, a keyboard, and directed in his computer. And he's doing these live streams where he's playing professionally produced audio.
I've been watching them.
And I said, for somebody like that, when you're playing music, make an Amazon account that says Showcase. Showcase all the tools you use to record yourself playing music. If people click on that Showcase, you're making money off their purchase that has nothing to do with whatever's in your library. That's like the girls during Christmas time. They were making those reels that said, hey, click on this decor we found.
Cool.
When people clicked on it, they didn't buy that decor. They went into their Amazon shopping list and closed out their Black Friday deals. And then the creator got to make 8% off that purchase.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Nobody's doing that. And then nobody's like, everybody works a day gig. That's understood. Everybody works a day gig in the High Valley. Everybody has a W-2. If you have a sole proprietor LLC where you're making money from music, that goes together with your W-2. That offsets your W-2's expense.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Were you teaching the class then? Or?
I will.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right.
Do it.
I mean,
I'll put a clip out or something.
I'll provide the sound system or something.
Yeah.
I saw.
That is a good idea.
I saw a great quote. It was on a reel. It said, "The problem with most musicians and entertainers is there is a clear path to success and what you have to do marketing wise, but there's egos that are not letting people do that because it doesn't fit that narrative how they became." Like how they make it, you know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to be the person that's really, really cool, putting out good music, and everybody just flocks to them immediately and just automatically. But you don't want to, nobody wants to be like grinding.
Nobody wants to grind.
Well, you got to grind. I mean, the grind is part of it.
Yeah.
And if you're not grinding, then you got your Ricky Schroeder. You got a silver spoon. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Or like you said, silver spoon. It's just somebody. And the fluke chance that you're in the right place at the right time with, it could be like you could be playing some small venue.
Right.
Joe Blows, that's big in the industry, just is home for Thanksgiving, stumbles in there, hears you, hey, I'm so-and-so, blah, blah, and you take off.
Well,
the chances of that are so minuscule.
And I've been
they are minuscule. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
They are so minuscule, but they happen.
They do happen.
But that's what everybody thinks. how everybody gets famous. It's not.
And they do happen. And you and I were chit-chatting a little bit, texting last night. And how did you read my mind? I mean, I like, seriously, we're all in tune here. And there's no pre-prep, but, you know.
No. That's what about this show.
That's you're like, no, you go ahead. So you said you got to grind, all right? So there's a guy that I found through Luke Burkhart. You
were telling me about that.
And his name's Cole Chaney. Mm-hmm. And before Cole got to be big, that's back when Megan and Greg still had Hightower, and they wanted to book Cole Chaney because they felt that Cole Chaney was going to do something. Well, I had no clue who in the heck Cole Chaney was, but I knew who in the heck Luke Burkhart is, and I love that dude, and I love working with him. So he said, "Hey man, got this opportunity. I need you as a sound guy. Can you do it?" And Cole's got a song, and it's actually my favorite song, and it's called "Grind."
Yeah,
and it's talking about grinding until the end of your days. You know, like nothing matters in life. You just got to grind. So we're talking about those little moments that happen, and man, like, it's just what a wild segue here, and just being in tune with each other. So there was this band that opened, and what I think people, you know, around here locally, if you want to get famous or you want to do whatever, the Valley's here, but when you get a chance to like hop into, go play somewhere else and open for somebody, go do it. Yeah. Right. But I hate when people don't go to the opener.
Yeah.
So case in point, I guess the point of the story is, don't skip the opener. You don't know who the opener is, especially around here. Yeah. If we bring in a regional act somewhere, you're probably going to see a local opener. Well, don't be like, oh, it's whatever. Go give them the opportunity to see that. I like to go see the openers for everything. And a lot of times, it's a 3-bill show. Second band's normally better than the third, unless they really got a built-in following.
Yeah.
But we went up to go see Cole Chaney in the winter, and he had this group open up for him called Wild Horses. And it was a married couple. They're young, and their buddy, and she played fiddle, and he plays guitar, and their buddy plays stand-up bass. Wild Horses. I fell in love with them right away. Okay, and I said, man, they got something. There's just something about these guys, and they wrote this song at the end. It was a Thunderbird up in Pittsburgh, which is, you guys have probably been. It can get intimate, and there wasn't a very big crowd. So they got everybody nestled on the dance floor together, and they come down with their instruments, and they played this song called The Man in the Mirror. And it's a song that he wrote about his father dying and carrying on his legacy, but watching your father die as you go through the ages of life. You know, like you're 2 foot tall, 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall. Last week, they played Red Rocks.
No kidding.
They've climbed that far that fast. So I want to tell people, like, don't miss out catching some of these opening acts, because it might be your one chance to catch them and be part of this little cool clique before they blow up. But they're still going to remember those fans that were there in the beginning, that pushed and listened and whatever. And the same goes for our Valleys musicians. You know, people got to show up for our Valleys musicians and do the same thing. You know, it's just, I've seen so many amazing openers here recently. There's a group called Sway Wild. Their music, it's female, Mandy Fur and Dave, I can't remember his last name. She actually is Amos Lee's guitar player. She's up for a big Female Guitarist of the Year award, American Independent Music Artist or something like that. Again, went to go see them open up for Mark Broussard. Blown away, absolutely blown away. Now there's a fan in me, and their music hit me so much I wrote something and just sent it to him in a text message, and they shared it to the world.
Yeah,
they got all this, like, I got a bunch of followers on my Instagram because of it, and I was just like, I just wanted to share my feelings and my words of of that show. Yeah, I've just don't miss those opening acts. There's so many amazing opening acts out there, and I know I'm a bit to handle, but I love my music, and I'm very passionate about my music.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe sometimes if I ever go to someone and I say, hey, you should probably book something, you probably should.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing this 9 to 10 success rate of people that, like, you know, I was friends with Brett Wilson from Roots Creation, Grateful Dub, and now look where they're at. They're huge. You know, there's just so many groups out there that, you know, like Mighty Mystic's going to blow up. His brother's the freaking prime minister of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have a shot at whatever?
Right.
And there's all these others that I've worked with and known. But again, it was all from going to opening acts.
Yeah.
So I think if there's one thing I can say is like locals, hey, go get those opening act slots. When they say up in Pittsburgh and Columbus and Cincinnati and Cleveland, go get them.
Yeah.
Get them. And don't be afraid of it, because like I'm telling everybody, go see the opening act because you'll fall in love with somebody. It's just
It's funny that you said that. Is that where you saw the wild horses? Was it the Mark Broussard?
I saw them with Cole Chaney, and I saw Sway Wild with Mark Broussard.
I wanted to go to that Mark Broussard concert.
Oh,
so
he put on a clinic.
Oh, I can imagine.
I
was going to ask how, if you went, if it was, I love the guy.
Well, it was so cool. So I walk in, and we see Sway Wild and whatever, and this was leading up to like 2 weeks earlier. The wife had that fall, and halfway through the show, she said, "I need to sit down." That was before we knew how bad off she was. And so I was like, okay, cool. And I'm drawing a blank. I'm going to forget her name, but I sat her down and I said, well, I'm going to go I always buy merch. I like buying merch, but I always like buying the opener shirt. But I'll get her a shirt from the headliner or whatever. And I walked up to bought stuff, and I met Mandy and Dave, and we talked, and they gave me a bunch of Sway Wild stickers, and then I walked over to Mark's merch booth, and I looked at the woman and I was like, I know you. And she kind of looked at me. She's like, you look vaguely familiar too. And I said, you're Mark's wife, aren't you? She said, I sure am. And I said, well, do you remember when we did the rock boats with Carnival Cruise Lines? And next thing you know, we're chitty-chatty, talking. And, because Mark had invited me to a couple of shows way back in the day. But the show was amazing. I was instantly transformed into the swamps of Louisiana. I purposely did not wear my Mark Broussard hat.
Don't wear the artist of who you're going to see. Don't be that guy.
Don't wear their Scully, even though it just says MB on the back of it.
Don't be that guy.
I wore a Scully that I got that was from Louisiana, from Sassine's or Souchon's hat shop right across from the cathedral. So, I know all about New Orleans, but in the area down there, he's from Carencro and Lafayette area. But the show was just, I was instantly taken back to the time when I found out who Mark Broussard was, he was very young and on the cruise ships. That's how I got to know who Mark was. And he was another one of those that I was telling people way back when, you got to check out this cat Mark Broussard. You got to check out this cat Mark Broussard. And I've been a fan of his since the first time I ever met him, and that was in 200004.
Yeah.
And
that's about the same time Home came out, didn't it?
It was right around the same time it came out.
They were, because that was, I think it was 2005. I think 2004, 2005 that Home come out. They kind of shot him up.
Right. That rock boat, I can't remember what number rock boat that was. That was my first time back to Carnival, full time, going through my divorce. And that rock boat in particular is the one I talk about when Zach Brown was walking around handing a CD out for free.
Really?
That's crazy.
And I was telling people about Zach Brown back then. And I got a version of Chicken Fried that isn't the version that everybody else has heard because it was on that free CD he was walking around. And the funniest part is that the name of the CD was The Foundation.
Really?
He must have re-recorded The Foundation 4 or 5 times until,
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was hanging out with Sister Hazel and the guys on that cruise. that was when I was like, all right, I'm back full time at Carnival. Let's go.
It's like artists that are like on the, like they're blowing up now, but they haven't got their like tours in line. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing Greta Van Fleet when they're like they would go down. They're from Michigan. They would go down to Ohio, play like little clubs, and then before they would be on their like national tour, you would see them start to do like clubs in Cleveland for like $90 a ticket. You know what I mean? Like people know their value, but they haven't they haven't expanded yet. That little sweet spot.
What happened to that? They were like on this, and then they just disappeared.
They had a big boom, but I think they're still putting out CDs. But
they're not like, I don't feel like they're in the limelight as much as they used to be.
It's almost kind of like after that Saturday Night Live thing that has been like a meme that he did his little facial twitch or whatever. It's almost kind of like after that they just disappeared.
Social media is an evil thing, you know what I mean? Even just
it's a blessing and a curse in the same
exactly.
time.
Yeah, you know.
But,
use it, don't abuse it.
Yeah, we went to Rock the Country. Amy and I went down to Ashland, Kentucky last weekend. I got tickets. It was a 2-day festival, and it had Riley Green was the headliner on Saturday. Jelly Roll was the headliner on Friday. They had Aaron Lewis. So many like great artists. But the main stage is this way, and then right behind you is the second stage.
So the music never stops.
Yeah, so which is
Beautiful.
cool, and it's you can bring your own chair, so you just kind of pick up and turn around. Yeah, and I have the poster because there were so many on that backstage that I thought sounded better than some of the opening acts on the main stage.
Yeah.
Now naturally, like Aaron Lewis, those
Sure.
Leonard Skinner still has it. I'm sorry, they were phenomenal.
Cool
that
to hear.
night.
Cool to hear.
But yeah, it was just like there was only one person on that soundstage that we were annoyed with because he talked more than he played. Like he had like a 45-minute set, played like 3 songs, and all I kept saying was like, "Man, I'm grateful you're here. Thanks for coming. I'm grateful you're here. Thanks for going." We're like, dude, shut up. Just
did they tell stories too before they sang the song about why they wrote the song or things like that?
No, he was just rambling. I don't know.
Was he drunk?
He might have been. And but you don't get that opportunity at a festival.
No,
it's that big, and you just blabber.
Yeah.
You'd think somebody would come out and kick him in the shin and say,
if you need to speak, there's an open mic somewhere later. You can go spoken word at. You know what I mean?
Your music, not you just be like,
spoken word.
Thank you for seeing me. I'm really happy. Okay, well, why should we see you? Okay, but that was the only complaint that I had. But like most of the time, I'm with you. Go see the opening act. We went and saw Ashley McBride. I got tickets for the wife,
right,
for Capitol Theater. Ashley put on a fantastic show. But their opener, same thing. It was like a husband, wife, and they had like a third guy that was kind of like in the background. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And before that, like forget where we saw the Warren Treaty as an opening act. They're taking off. They're phenomenal. It's like a bluesy kind of thing.
I'll check it out.
But it's I'm a big fan of always seeing, unless it's an opening act that
and you just go, okay.
Like we were talking,
we'll go to the bar.
Billy Idol's coming to Starlight.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Who's the other opening act?" And I opened it up. I went, Devo.
Do.
So all we have to do is get there right before Devo comes off stage to hear "Whip It."
You're evil.
And because you could say, "I'm going to shoot you in the head" if you name a song other than "Whip It."
I don't know what all else they've done. I'm not a clue.
I'm dying.
I've seen some of their other videos that were equally as weird as Whip It. Like,
yeah,
maybe they were doing whippets. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But like those kind of things, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna miss that opener.
Yeah. That's one I wouldn't care about.
Yeah.
So. Who has been the pride and joy of Jefferson Fridays this year?
Who's been the pride and joy of Jefferson Fridays this year?
Who have you been most excited about bringing in? Who do you think is the best show?
I wouldn't say anybody was the best show. Last one we had the rain. We had to deal with the rain. Yeah. The first one, was Kanawha. Everybody knows Kanawha. If you don't, they're fantastic. Bucket of Puppies were there. They're fantastic. It was kind of cool to have that vibe in the city of Moundsville for music. They've never really had that, and the guys from Bucket of Puppies are just so freaking talented. But Kanawha was just so freaking talented. Both of them together. They're getting ready to do a collab soon, and I can't wait to see them cross collab. It's probably going to start out happening at a jam night at Waterfront Hall and whatever. But then the last one was country. But I got up against the wall because my opener backed out. Well, not really backed out. Had a family issue, if you will, and couldn't make it. And I found out with like 10 days before the show. And I called one person, and then I just thought to myself, instead of beating myself up, I was sitting having a beverage, waiting on my burger, and I was going through my Facebook, and Whiskey Rider was my headliner, and I was like, the answer was sitting right in front of me. Yeah. He's in the band, Mike Pennerich, Mike Shatter, and I'm familiar with all of his stuff that he's done, and I know him, and we've talked, and we don't know each other that well. We're slowly building that relationship.
I don't know him, but he's a fan of the show, always likes my stuff, so I want to reach out and get him on.
So listen, I said, do you want to do your own thing? I know you're just getting started doing your own things, this, that, and the other. I know you're big at the jam night.
And he's a veteran, right?
And he's a veteran, yes, sir. Marine, yes. Yep. And so I just, hey, buddy, would you want to do it, man? Boom, 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 boom. Within, like, I think 3 hours, I had the invoice and everything else. And I didn't even have it approved from our group. And I just said, this is what's going to happen. He blew me away. Yeah. I'd listened to the stuff on Spotify, but he had his own backing tracks. He's got that figured out. He's writing his own music. He was the star of the show so far for me through it all because my back was against the wall. And I took a leap of faith, only from knowing what I've seen him do. He actually helped me tear down Rise Up Floodfest, him and his buddies,
really?
Jacob and everybody.
Oh,
They
that's
helped
cool.
me, and that meant a lot to me a year ago. And I knew the kid had a good heart. And as far as when he's with Whiskey Rider, man, what a talented musician!
I really
And-
want to
and
get a steel guitar player.
pedal
in
steel,
here.
dobro, all that.
See that.
And then finally, he started putting out some stuff on Spotify, whatever. I was listening to it and subscribed to where I can get it when it comes loose. And I just like, okay, I gave him a chance. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, you don't, in that young of your career, as far as being a soloist, you don't get the opportunity to play a stage that big
Yeah.
in your infancy year.
Mm-hmm.
He can play that stage anywhere he wants. He's got it.
Nice.
He was,
That's
yeah, you have to reach out to him. He's a good kid.
I
I really like him.
I saw Whiskey Rider. It was only like 3 songs. It was Wednesday down in Benwood. I went down for the Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
I only got like 2 songs in, then they took their break to announce the winner. But if you're watching this now, the jackpot, I think, is the Queen of Hearts is up to like 625 grand. If you're watching this now, because it's going to come out. Oh, no, it's going to come out Tuesday. I was going to say, if you're watching it after Wednesday, I'm sorry, I already won the jackpot. This will be the last episode of TST.
Oh, well.
Nah.
In this studio.
Yeah, in this studio, yeah.
We're going to have a much bigger, better... We're going to look like the Pat McAfee
Oh,
show.
with that kind of money, I'll just do the podcast off my toilet.
I'll do a podcast off my toilet. Jeez.
It'll be a remote Zoom
10
off my toilet. I'm not even going to worry
10
about it.
strings toilet.
Single ply edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
You know who reached out to me and got me thinking of you is a guy named Chris over at the Wintersville Arts, Music and
Center
Arts.
of Music and Arts. And
Chris Volpini wanted
Oh,
us
I
to
know
come
Chris.
in and do some collab videos and stuff. Come in here do a podcast. And I didn't know that I said, well, we're musicians and stuff. Usually it's harder for us to get in on a weekend, but he said, I'll actually play music for Aristotle Jones.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I did not
He's
know
their
that.
bass- I
Yeah.
booked him last year for our Appalachian dinner for City of Moundsville.
Yeah.
And we had been following each other and friends on Facebook and never really had seen each other in a long time. Yeah, Volpini.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He dropped Aristotle Jones. I'm like, oh, no kidding.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Aristotle and Chris, because man, they're so talented. And like I say, so yeah, they played our Appalachian dinner, which is
Right.
Matt Welsh from Vagabond makes a menu all around Appalachia, if you will.
Yeah.
So this year he's got an even crazier menu built. It's all on our City of Moundsville Arts and Culture page. Even crazier. I can't wait to eat the food.
Yeah.
All Appalachian.
What is that?
And it's end of September. I want to say 25th, 26th, something like that. And so yeah, they've had Kanawha play in the past. They've had
Yeah.
they've had Aristotle. I booked that last year. I'm gonna have Adrian come down and do a little
You got to.
thing. It's not going to be the power trio, but I'm going to have the guys involved somehow in doing something different. Adrian and I have already talked, and he played he actually played our first Third Thursday, that new series we created down there, Third Thursday lunch series, where they're bringing the food trucks and whatever, and people loved him. And I'm like, well, if they loved him there, wait till you get him intimately with only like 30 people having an Appalachian dinner by Matt Welch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. When I was texting the other day, I said a lot of people are coming out that used to be in like the heavy J-Bo scene. They're all trying to get interviews, and it's funny because the way they all talk, they put Adrian above like all else from that era. It's always like
he was.
Yeah, that's
he had that album. I think the album was Manumit. That's one of my favorite albums of all
Really?
time in my life. The whole album was just fantastic. Every once in a while, we'll be out. I'll see him live somewhere, and I'll push him to do a song off that album.
yeah.
And he'll do it. And I loved it. That whole album to me, I believe the album was Manumit. Bryce Foster was the drummer in the band. I remember all that. That was back old Office Lounge days, like the floating barge days, J-Bo's days. One of the greatest albums. He can shred, man. That guy can shred. I mean, he doesn't belong in our valley. He should be playing stadiums. He's just that flipping good.
Mm-hmm. And just from like watching, he's so comfortable doing it too. It's like
He's
he
so
could be
relaxed.
he could be headlining 500,000 people. He could be like at J-Bo's. I feel like the show wouldn't be minuscule off of indifference.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I'm happy he's going to play the Blues Fest this
Yeah.
year.
That's awesome.
The Blues Fest, that's something. You just had them recently on.
Yeah.
That second stage, man, people have no clue what that second stage has got line for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read that second stage, we understand it. We get it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I like this morning when I went downstairs to get dressed before the guitar class and everything else. There were two shirts sitting side by side, and it was a tie-dye and it was a company caravan shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they get enough promotion, whatever, you know, and people probably, you know, I was like, I'll wear my tie-dye, but yeah, people that haven't checked out, I can't, they got like, what, 28 states, 29 different states coming? I can't wait for them to see company caravan on the side stage and all the other stuff on the side. Come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
to close out Sunday on that second stage.
You know?
Company Caravan.
Wow.
I mean, as far as like genre and like set list choice, Company Caravan might be my favorite. If I had
love them.
If I had to go and like watch a whole set, like knowing like what songs I would need to be prepared for, I think it'd be them.
I love their cover. And we're going to come back, we're going to bring the cover thing back because you still not told us what your favorite cover was.
Oh, yeah, we got to end that. We got to end the episode on that.
But I love, have you heard them cover Pink Pony Club?
Yeah.
Jacob playing that guitar, the solos of it. Like, I love that song. I mean, you gotta, it's just a jam.
Is that Chappelle Roan?
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
And Chapel, Chappelle, whatever. But
Chapel,
like,
I said
I don't really care.
I wasn't going to call you out on it. I wasn't like that.
Chapel Roan. Okay.
Chappelle.
I just like the I just like the song.
Yeah.
But like the way they do it's just amazing. And I remember last year you were down there. It was the
Riverfest
thing down at Riverfest.
Yeah.
Their little girl running around.
Yep.
Just looking at mom and dad are both, you know, Kate and her husband Derek are both very talented musicians. But there's dad being the support, and there's daughter running back and forth.
He's
there's
at the merch
mom,
table, yeah.
There's mom in her hippie outfit with their shoes on dancing, and there's the baby just running back and forth like to rock star mom and to merch booth dad. You know,
I like how just non-technical the whole act is. Like they're not like getting the next track ready. I mean, every guitar player's going into a few pedals into their vintage amp. I mean, then nobody's starting the track, waiting for that click. They're looking at the drummers like, when is he going to start beating on that thing? And that's
and
what
Ethan
I really like.
pulls out the baseball bats and starts cracking them drums.
I love that. Yeah.
And Rachel is a phenomenal player.
Rachie.
The first time I saw her playing, I was just like, wow. Like, she's, wow. I mean, really, really, really,
really talented.
And we did that when we were doing the 2x4s karaoke thing. When she come up and she was like, "Hey, you really, you play bass really well." Meant so much to me because I was like, "Thank you. That really means." And Johan the same way.
Yeah.
He's like,
my brother.
Man, yeah,
I love a guy.
Because I've always been nervous about doing opening mics, and both of them said you'd have no problem on an opening mic. And like those two people meant the world to me by saying that.
That's awesome. I was going to say, Jan, who has to have the ability to play any genre, every like song on a fly like he does for like the jam nights.
Those two giving me kudos. It's still to this day is like my most two, because naturally family and friends are going to tell you, oh yeah, I want to hear it from, and they didn't have to say squat to me,
right? And
they both made it come up and said exactly, hey, you're a good bass
player. And they wouldn't say that just to say that. I work with Jan all the time, and I adore Rachel, and she's you know where you stand with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you stand with him.
But I'm like you.
I like transparent people,
they're all again, just how the universe put those four people together in this valley.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, I met this guy in college, or we met Rachel here, or this or that, and Pete's ticket. It's all homegrown. It goes back to go see your opening acts, especially if they're from the valley, because there's a lot of talent in here that just I don't think anybody understands
or appreciates.
Oh, definitely doesn't appreciate.
They see it in front, and they're like, why don't they sing it like that? Well, maybe that's their timbre and their timbre or whatever. But like,
so
armchair quarterbacks,
always. And it's always the people that don't play a damn instrument. That's what really chaps your ass.
Yeah, right.
Oh, what do you play? Oh, I don't play anything.
Well, then
shut up and color.
Exactly. Yeah. Shut up and color.
It just irritates me because I know people that are like that. It was like, well, I didn't like the way they played this and played that. Okay, you've been playing guitar. I'll give you that. You know how to play guitar, but have you ever been in a band? Have you done an open mic? Have you done a jam night? Have you done? Well, no.
Hush.
Exactly.
Yep.
Your opinion doesn't. I don't want to hear it. I'll listen, but it's right
You know,
now. It's
If
it irritates the hell out of me.
if you want to be irritated and go down a rabbit hole of mean contents, go on TST on Twitter. Or not Twitter, I'm sorry, TikTok. TikTok, like Facebook, anytime we put out video and stuff, just great comments, always great reception. You go on TikTok, it is the Wild West, baby. It is just
Oh, really? I never
so
looked
many.
in the comments.
I didn't know that.
Go look at 10 String Tavern on TikTok. Like it is so
Like
funny.
I see it pop up. I like everything. Naturally, I follow everything. I've never read the comments.
Oh, I'm fighting with a guy right now in one of the videos. He's dressed as a pirate. I guess apparently he lives in Bridgeport. Like, I looked at his profile
I
and
mean,
stuff.
I don't know. I guess like even like, especially for being involved with this and everything. I mean, I guess part of me just didn't. You don't. You don't want, like, again, you don't want to dive down that rabbit hole. So I never looked. But
TikTok really rewards engagement more than any other platform. So it's like if I can keep a guy all day arguing with me on a thread, there's only one of us making money. That's me.
Yeah, it's you. It's you. You're like that. You're like that insurance commercial. I got you a dollar. I got you a dollar.
I was like, you can.
So first of all, if I'm going to go down do this evening, do I need to stop at the liquor store?
Yeah.
Am I going liquor store? Am I going down this way to hit the liquor store? Am I going that way to hit Sunnyside?
Yeah.
You're going to both.
Yeah, both.
Which one do I need to stop at?
Get one of the
start
sativa you and I had because
there's a lot of times there's stuff on other social media. I'll start replying, and if Amy's there, she's like, "Don't."
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she don't.
That's the thing. It's
She's
like
all about like, you
Image,
you keep
It's
positive energy.
yeah.
If you start doing that, you bring in the negative energy.
Right.
But if it's your product,
I was going to say, it's like you're probably more fluent than me. You might be better looking than me. But I tell you what, if you're arguing with somebody on their page when giving them the content, I mean, we're benefiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh well, then you're gonna make money because I'm gonna get people fired up. Then I'm gonna get people fired up.
He'll be out in the middle of the yard tonight as Jack Sparrow, wondering what other rum's gone.
Wondering which of his neighbors it is. All right, before we end this, we got to settle on what our favorite cover songs are. I'm going to go with mine. I think mine is Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses because that's the first guitar solo I ever learned.
Okay.
Real easy bluesy bends.
I'll go ahead and I'll close that out on as far as a recorded one, and that would definitely be the Black Crowes. Hard to handle.
Okay, I love that
Love
one.
it.
Yeah.
I love that album.
And the Otis Redding one's just as good.
Stole your answer?
Yeah.
Give me the same answer.
No. I think probably. Good old chemo brain just made me forget it. Hold on a second. Let me. As soon as Metallica doing Thin Lizzy's
Whiskey in the Jar.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, because that opening riff,
Yeah.
I think that was.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is like the way it happened was I had just kind of well, I don't want to say I was listening to more Thin Lizzy because it was one of those things that like you didn't really like where I grew up or when I grew up, it wasn't like they kind of had some songs, but like I just kind of really heard Thin Lizzy's, and then not long after that, Metallica come out with theirs.
Yeah,
it was like
that Garage Inc. album.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'd probably say that would be more hard to handle as a very close second.
But the Otis Redding version's just as good.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more boppier, like a Stevie Wonder type.
Right. It's interesting though. You said Otis Redding, and you were talking about Mark Broussard. How about all those covers Mark Broussard's done over the years of the soul stuff? I mean,
that
now pick one. Now pick your favorite. We could sit here for another hour and a half. We could sit here for an hour and a half talking about Mark Broussard.
I can't remember the song. When I played in the oldies band with my dad, I sang one of his covers of a cover, and I just went blank on it. But
I love when he does "I've Been Loving You Just a Little Too Long." Like it, just like the way that he cracks into that and "Love and Happiness."
Yeah,
he sounds like the Reverend Al on that one. Then he sounds like Otis in the other. You're just like, how does a white boy from Karen Crow, Louisiana, do that? He does it.
That's well.
And every once in a while, I go to karaoke and I try to do it too.
Yeah, it's that would be. I'll close out with that one. I'll stand on that one.
All right.
A little whiskey in a jar.
You hear it here first. Our favorite covers and a bunch of chirping of the Ohio Valley music and sound scene with Uncle Tim. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Oh man, I missed you guys.
Missed you, sir.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Have you back soon. What's the next big production?
The next big production, obviously,
without spilling any.
The next big production, obviously, is the Blues Fest, and then there's the Jefferson Friday that's coming up. Yachttopia is the band coming out of Columbus, and JEL's the opener. That's Josh Garrett, Eli Lambie, and Luke Dollar. That's their little trio project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay, I didn't know that.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, no one knew that existed.
Oh, wow.
I do. They're actually, I think they're recording and doing some cool stuff. So shout out to those boys.
Joey Adams texted me the other night. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a bass player. I think this is when you were out of town." So he's like, "Do you know anybody that can fill in?" I'm like, "You could text Luke Dollar, but he's probably has one of 10 other projects going on."
Exactly. So no, there's nothing big going on right now that I can really say. I mean, there's some stuff in the works. I do want to work with some people. Maybe I'll do sound once here before it's all over. For a benefit down south, and we can talk about that offline.
Yeah.
But I really want to I'd love to see somehow to do a cool night. I'd like to do a Soul Train 70s night, all vinyl edition.
That'd be cool.
Oh, wow.
You know, like the band's got to be with whatever they're doing, but I would love to have all vinyl DJ. I think that'd be a cool thing. Get everybody out there on the dance floor, do the lines, whatever, you know.
Yeah, do the lines.
I think it'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, all right, Boogie Fever, whatever.
No, I think what would be cool is if we at some point we could do like a musicians of the Ohio Valley kind of gig, like where you see like sometimes you'll see like the really people that have made it, where you'll see like there might be like 5 guitar players on 3 guitar, 2 drum, people at the Ohio Valley, and just do like
a We Are the World.
We Are the Valley.
But I mean like one huge band, like you might have like 3 drummers, you might have 4 bass players, and
the all-star band.
Yeah, but do like just 5 or 6 songs that like you like everybody knows these 5 songs.
That could be a cool way to raise some money for a fund too. Get it recorded and come up with a night like that. So
it'd be a nightmare for you sound guys.
No, it wouldn't, because we know what we're doing. As long as it just happens live and everything's recorded by track individually, post production's where it's at.
That's what we did with Ezra. We did the XR 18. Yeah, just to go out with multi-track and to be able to be done filming, not even have to worry about anything until like the next day when we can pull the stems. That's so nice.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, a lot of opportunities in the valley.
All right, guys. I think this is TST 106. Have you back real soon, sir. And the next project come right back in.